What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is my 81 Camaro. It's LS swapped. Today we're going to switch directions from working on the rust and floors and all that garbage, and this thing severely needs a rear end gear, but I picked up an entire different rear end. It's out of a Nova, but we're gonna get that swapped in there today. It's not a direct swap, so we're gonna have to do some little fabricating and whatnot. But I didn't get this other floor finish from the last video, and I can show you why. I was digging around in here, and the rear floor over here there's just so many small holes. I went ahead and ordered another patch just for like that side, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that welded in. I did get the patches in up here. This just turned out a little worse than what I thought, so we're gonna go ahead and replace that one too. But like I said, I did pick up a different rear end. This is our buddy's Nova. He says that it has 411 gears in it. I'm gonna open it up and take a look, because mine has brand new brakes, new wheel cylinders and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the entire backing plate and everything off of here, pull the axles out, and that'll make it so I don't have to drop the leaf springs as well. But like I said, we're gonna open this up, get the axles out. This has a supposed 411, a mini spool, and this has a 256 gear in it, and it's an open diff. Fifth gear is pretty much useless unless you're doing 90, and it's a one wheel peel, and that is no good. So like I said last video, I did find the build sheet, and it shows right here it's a 256 gear. So but I need to do some jack stand rearranging, get them under the car instead of under the axle. So when we take the bolts out, it's not a catastrophic failure. But yeah, got a little mess to clean up, jack stands to move, and I'll be right back with you guys after I get this cleaned up. Alright, so I got the jack stands moved around. Get these wheels off of here, and I can't wait to change these lug nuts. There's the chrome capped ones, and they're just swollen and junk. Boom. Alright, I'll get you guys in here a little closer and show you what's going on. Alright, like I said, I did put all new brakes on this over the summer, and that's why I'm saying I just want to take this backing plate off, leave all of this assembled, and then we'll just swap it right on the new one, because they're both 10 bolts. So it's all interchangeable. But what's not interchangeable is the new rear end is, I think it's an inch narrower than this one. So we're gonna have to change the perches out, which in my opinion is gonna be better anyways, because these factory have a rubber isolator, and these ones are dry rotted as all get out, and we're just going to eliminate that altogether, put a normal style perch on there, weld it on, and it'll work just as good as, well, in my opinion, better than these. The rubber isolator is, for, I would assume, for vibration dampening and just a better ride quality. But we're gonna have to crack the diff cover off, drain the fluid, pull the C-clips out, slide these axles out, then we'll unbolt these backing plates, pull the brand new lines out, so those shouldn't be a problem. Take the whole thing off, and then we'll just slap it right on the new one once we get it in here. So let's get under there and get that diff cover off. Oh yeah, we gotta drop the dry shaft too, but let's get it drained out. Alright, I can't wait to smell like this stuff for the rest of the day. This is the worst smelling fluid there is. I'm just going to take all these off, starting at the bottom, working up. That way it doesn't all fall off at once. Once we get close to the top, we can pry it open a little bit and let the fluid drain out. Let me go get a little tool of persuasion. Wouldn't it be funny if there was nothing in here? Oh yeah. There's the good stuff. It doesn't look terrible. I never checked this, to be completely honest. Loosen this up a little bit. Give us some wiggle room. Yum. Alright. What to do with this? What to do? Clean it up later. Alright. Take this one off. Hey, it actually had a gasket on it and wasn't RTV. Nice. Alright. Alright, so I need to get this to spin. We'll pull this pin out of here, and then we can slide the axle in a little bit, and right in here there's a C-clip, so I can spin it here. And you can take that out, and then the whole axle just slides right out. But need to go pop this thing in neutral. That way I can spin this and get those clips out of there. Alright, I popped her out of gear. See if we can get this to oh yeah, spin right on around here. If you're a car guy or you've ever been in a rear end, everybody says we need smell-o-vision. I promise. If you've been in one of these, you know exactly what this smells like. Alright, so this little bolt here, can you guys see that? I'll get you closer. This bolt here holds in this pin, so we take this bolt out, let this pin fall out, then we can get these axles out of here. Alright, let me go get the tool for that. Alright, take this little bolt out. Oh, come on now. Oh, bust your knuckles. Come on. See, I knew that was going to happen. Right, we can get it now. There's the pin that holds the pin. Just slides right out. Just like that. Put that in there. Then, if we spin this back down, easy. Don't want everything to fall apart. Alright. Then I'll reach over here on the end, push that axle in. I don't know if you guys seen that or not. Get you a little closer. When you reach on the end, it pushes this out. And then take your little magnet, grab your little C-clip, put that there so you can lose it, and then your axle just slides right out. You come over here, and you just grab this, pull it right on out. Easy as that. And then the backing plate is just these 4 bolts here. And then that whole assembly comes off, and we can bolt it right on the other one. But I'm gonna get that side caught up, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, I got the other side caught up, and I've already gotten 3 of the bolts out on this side. They are really in there, but we just gotta rip out this last one, then we'll pull this off. I think I'm gonna try to leave the brake line hooked up and just maybe bungee this up here or something. That way I don't have to bleed brakes again later. But let's see if we can't strip or round off or do something with this last one. Like I said, the other ones, they were not very easy to get out of here. Plug yours. Just like that. And then your whole assembly can just come right off. And then we'll just put this on the new one. Saves us from having to mess with any of this. But like I said, I'm gonna try to find a way to hang this up out of the way, and then let's just do the other side. Then we'll get to taking the oh gosh, the U-bolts out. Well, one U-bolt, the other side just has through bolts. But get this hung up, start working on the bottom side. Okay, so we got this bungee corded up on the top of the shock, but there's the bolt on the bottom of the shock that has to come off, which is probably just going to end up getting cut because that shock is wore out a long time ago. Then we just got these bolts down here on the bottom. So let's give the shock a try. Like I said, I doubt that it's going to come off of there, but we'll give her an honest try. Probably just gonna spin the whole thing, but like I said, I will. I'll just cut it if need be. Yep, just spinning the whole thing. All right. Let's try these U-bolt bolts. And once again, if they don't come off, I got no problem using a grinder. We'll just cut them off. The new setup is going to have 2 U-bolts instead of 1 U-bolt and 2 through bolts. So let's give this a shot. Not happening. Also not happening. Also not happening. Well, I guess that answers that. gonna have to use a grinder because I really want to save this bottom plate and try to reuse it. So grinder it is. Alrighty, so this thing is ready to come out of there, minus the drive shaft. But other than that, I think I might throw the diff cover back on, just throw all those loose parts inside there because I'm not going to use this again. But I think I'm going to get started on this other rear end. I'm not going to make you guys sit through all that. It's literally the same thing I just did. Take off the cover, pin, yada yada yada. But on this one, I'm going to have to cut off these brackets here on both sides. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut these off. These are old shock mounts. Might leave them on for future stuff. I'm undecided yet. But probably just gonna throw you guys up on a time lapse and just knock this one out real quick. None of the fabrication stuff really shows up, and it's not really even fab stuff. I bought, let me go show you. I bought some leaf spring perches. Let's see. These from our local tractor store. So I'm gonna put these on there, and then it'll be just like a normal, what I would consider normal leaf spring mount setup. And then 2 U-bolts. Use the factory bottom plate, and you gotta set the pinion angle. Other than that, it's pretty simple. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this other one up on stands, get it tore apart, and ready to chuck in there. All right. All right, so I got this thing tore apart, and some of the information on this rear end, or I should say most of it, was wrong. It's not a 411 like I thought. It's definitely a 513, but we're gonna go ahead and put it in there. We're just gonna be able to pull goosenecks with this thing because first gear is now gonna be a granny gear. But it is what it is. But now that that's all tore apart, got the axles out, I'm gonna start cutting these off of here, and I'm just gonna swap them out real quick. So. Alright, so that is definitely a fight by yourself, but we got her in there. I've got a mess to clean up here, but anyways, the next step would be we're gonna get the perches and slide them under here, and they set. You can't see it; it's a little dark. Let me see. I'll just grab one real quick. Let's take these. These are gonna sit. Let's see if I can slide this. Alright, there's the pin there. These are gonna sit right on that pin like that. Then the axle sits right on that. And after we set the pinion angle, and this is in here, we're just gonna weld this straight to the axle. I got those cleaned up when I cut it apart, but now it's just reverse of everything we just did. So like I said, I have got a mess that I need to clean up so I can actually work in here again. But I'm gonna get this cleaned up and we'll get under there and start setting angles and get the welder out and get that tacked in there. Alright, so we've got it mocked up here. Nothing's tight, but this is the setup. I'm gonna have to cut these off, they're a little long, but that is what it is. What needs to happen now is I need to get the jack stands on the axle. That way, the way the car is on the axle, because when the rear end goes up in travel, it actually changes the pinion angle. So I need to, we're gonna snug these down. I got the axle centered this way. I measured from the edge of the flange to the leaf spring on both sides. So it's centered this way. We just need to snug these, put the weight of the car on the rear end so that way these compress, and then we get the welder out and tack those perches. Take it all back apart so that way I can get in there and actually weld the perches the right way, and just keep on moving after that. Be brakes and all that good stuff after that. So alright, let's get these snug down, move these stands back. Alright, so like I said, we just need these snug. We're not looking to run them down. That way, when the weight of the car is on it, we'll set the pinion angle with the weight of the car. I don't know if I said that last clip or whatever, but we just need these snug enough to where when I let the jack down, the whole rear end doesn't twist. But hopefully I don't run out of threads. These are universal U-bolts I just picked up from the parts store. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna get this snugged up. I'll get the stands moved back. I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here and watch me tighten up a couple U-bolts. Try to keep it somewhat entertaining, but okay. I'll get the other side done, then I'll move those stands back, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, so the weight of the car's on here. I pulled the drive shaft out of the rear end, and I took my angle finder, stuck it on the tail housing of the transmission, found that angle, stuck it on the yoke of the rear end, and found that angle. And for everything I've been told, they're supposed to be equal but opposite. So I did that. Everything's good. Next goal would be chop these off so I can get an impact on here. Snug these down, get the welder and weld these to the rear end, and then we start putting everything back together. So I'm going to throw you guys in a time lapse and just knock this stuff out, and I'll be back when we're putting the brakes on. Alright, so we got everything down there pretty much buttoned up. Gonna try to put the rest of this together. And I've got to get new, well, they're ordered, new wheel studs. But I just want to put this together and make sure everything's going to go together and we're not going to have any hiccups. Putting wheel studs in is pretty simple. So anyways, set that down there, take our axle, guide it in, and then these are a bolt-in axle. They don't have C-clips, so I was saying that was another thing that I wasn't told about it, but these just get bolts from the back side. But anyways, there's just 4 bolts that go in the back. Get these in, snug them down, and then it's just put fluid in it, put the drive shaft back up in it, and get these wheel studs in here when they show up. Like I said, they're on order. Supposed to be here in the morning, so. And other than that, this job is pretty much wrapped up. Oh, I did. I got some shocks on the way too. We'll get those swapped out. Pretty much easy as that. Those bolts hold the axle and the brake assembly on there. Get these tightened up. I'm hoping all the snow we got slows down. I'd really like to take this thing out and drive it once we get the floor back in it. See how this rear end's gonna do. Still got to figure out the oil pressure. I got a couple ideas on that. Somebody commented and said that they had issues with running their oil pressure gauge where I have mine, which is just in the stock location on the top. So I bought the adapter that moves it down on the side of the oil pan. So I'm going to give that a shot, see if that'll fix anything. But like I said, if it doesn't, I'm not sure what to do. If anything, it might come to pulling it back out and throwing some cam bearings in it. But I really want this thing to be right. I really want it to be right for so I can go on a power tour. I don't want to have to deal with anything that I know is a problem now, when I can fix it now and not have to worry about it later. Yep. But all right, those are all tight. Now, the old drum. These are the only thing that I didn't swap out. These are original from when I got it, but easy as that. So I'm gonna go get the other side caught up to this point. Like I said, I have the studs on the way. I should be able to, yeah, I can probably just squeeze these in from the back here and get those pressed in, so that won't be a big deal. We still got shocks to do. Get up in the trunk, get those out. But still need to clean the pan up, re-RTV it, because I'm not a gasket kind of guy on those, so then we'll put fluid in it. And this job is pretty much knocked out. Alright, it's the next day. I got the shocks, the wheel studs, and the new lug nuts. So we're gonna get these shocks in here and just get this thing knocked out real quick. That way I can get this video out to you guys. So let's start with these shocks. Alright, so it's like 3 hours later and all of the video from there is just gone. So I got this thing all buttoned up. It's all back together. But I'll show you what I got done. And yeah, so we got the 2 wheel studs in that were missing. I just stuck them in from the back side, put a nut on here and tightened them, pulled them through. The shock had 2 bolts up here on the top, the one on the bottom there. Pretty simple there. But like I said, I don't know what happened to the video, so next video I'm hoping to get on the wiring, finish that up. Probably going to take a look into the oil pressure, get that sensor hooked up, and maybe do these door seals. But anyways, I do appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.